Hello guys, so now we're going to move on to learning how to divide fractions. So let's just take, for example, 1/2 divided by 1/4. And there's actually a special step that goes along with dividing fractions. And we're going to actually multiply this by the reciprocal. So we're going to take this denominator here, and this numerator, which is the 1, is going to become the denominator. And this 4, which is the denominator, is going to become the numerator. And we're going to multiply this by 1/2. So what we're going to have is 1/2 times 4/1, which equals, well, 1 times 4 is 4, and 2 times 1 is 2, which gives us 2. Similarly, if we want to take 2/3 and divide it by 1/3, well, what we're going to have is 2/3 times 3/1. And what does that give us? Well, 2 times 3 is 6, and 3 times 1 is 3, which again gives us 2. Well, let's look at this visually to see again why we're getting larger numbers when we're starting out with smaller fractions. So let's just take our half circle example again. And so we're going to have 1/2 divided by 1/4. So basically, what we're trying to do is figure out how many quarter pieces fit in 1/2. So we're going to have something like this, where we have 2 quarter pieces that fit in 1/2. So that's where we get our 2 from. We have one piece here, and then we have our second piece right here. Again, if we want to use a line for our example, we can, for our second example, 2/3 divided by 1/3, well, we're going to be looking at this area right here, this 2/3. And so now we're trying to figure out how many 1/3 pieces fit within 2/3. So here we have our first piece. And then here we have our second piece. So again, that's why we have our answer is 2, because we have 2 separate pieces. So guys, I hope you learned a little something about dividing fractions, and now you can see why the answers are larger than the original fractions.